consumers still don't know what they're taking. So I think there's this gap in education, and as also putting, like the power back into the hands of the consumer. So not like a brand saying you must take this, but consumer must understand that I need to take this because XYZ. When I delve deeper, I also realized that people are taking advantage of this because I'm telling you, okay, if you take this, then you won't have this problem. Yes, that's what I want to do, but there are just so many companies or brands out there that's not doing this. They're just doing this because of the money. The motivation is different.
Health is a segment where if you do too many promotions, your reputation goes for a toss. The reason why we are everywhere online, not on retail. I can control the experience on website more than I can control it on Shopee or TikTok. Website is where we build the brand, where we build the narrative, where we tell people who we are, and website is global.
Your live stream is 50% of your revenue. How many people are there attending, listen to you? And from that, what is the percentage of conversion?
Yeah, and how have you optimized it? So welcome back to another episode of TFC Business Show. I'm your host Reggie, aka your Chief Financial Coconut, and today we're going to talk about longevity, right? The growth sector. I think these days is the growth sector.
It is the growth sector in, I guess, in the wellness space. Anti-aging out, natural aging out, extending your lifespan in. How to extend your lifespan and be super functional and be a Superman is in.
Is it even possible?
It is possible because I'm literally trying the product and I tell you, it felt like, Snapdragon 8 Gen, Snapdragon Gen 3 upgraded to Snapdragon Elite, or like a mid-tier phone upgraded into top-tier phone. That is how it feels like.
So you can tell this is Justin's angle.
No, because
he swears by this. I'm the skeptic on this episode. Yes.
Yeah, you're the skeptic.
Yes,
I am
you
I
swear
won't say
by
I'm
it.
the advocate, but I'm the user, of it. And
yes.
I think we want to introduce quality businesses, right? So I am literally trying it myself. So I believe in it, and so I also want to understand the creators,
the stories,
of these
the
products.
ideas, what's going on, and all that.
So today we have two gentlemen. First is Dr. Eugene He. He is a biotechnologist with a lifelong passion for chemistry. The other one is Shantanu, the CEO of the very product that I'm using. Of course, then please introduce yourself.
I started as a clinical naturopath, and then I became
What is that?
So you think about we have like conventional medicine, which is your doctors, GPs, and so on, right? And then you have at the other end, you have more preventive stuff, people who understand and know how to use like supplements or nutrition to help you become healthier. Yeah, so that's what I started out as, and then slowly going into formulation research, and then eventually into longevity research.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the founder of Qurio, and we are you can call us a biotech incubator for consumer brands. That's what we do. We are fully vertically integrated. So we have our own R&D, we have our own manufacturing, but we also handle our own brand building ourselves. It's all in-house.
And it's all in Singapore, your
All in
facilities.
Singapore, yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm Shantanu. You can also call me Shan. I am, if I have to put things which is not on LinkedIn, I am a business analyst. That's how I started my career back in 2015, looking at numbers, how things go. And it's whatever I've done in the last now almost close to 10 years is focused on numbers, how we change things. So even in the office, people would see me as the numbers guy. Everything is numbers. The transformation for my life has been last 5 years. I decided to not be in the corporate, to get out, do something else, challenge myself.
What were you doing previously?
I was in fashion and e-commerce. So 2016 to 2020, I was in a company called as Myntra. It's part of the Walmart group back in India. We were the biggest lifestyle platform selling fashion. So I've sold H&M, Nike. I've launched Under Armour in the market. I've launched H&M in the market. So this is back in 2018, 2019. It was a huge business, but then at some point of time, it became boring. It's like doing the same thing every single day, and it was a huge corporate structure that I didn't enjoy because there were so many ideas and you couldn't really do things. You take a good idea to a engineer and a product manager, and then they shoot you down with 10 different things why it can't work.
Was that why you became a founder?
Partly. So all of this added to the whole. So I moved out in 2020, just during COVID. And the first year was in Dubai. So I spent a year over there working for Landmark Group. And that's when I saw that you can actually independently do a lot more things. Back in India, for me, doing a business is a no-no. Even today, you ask me to go and do a business in India, I will think multiple times before even starting something. This is so complicated and a lot of problems, which is not in the other parts of the world. So I got that sense of, okay, I can, it built up slowly. So Dubai was more like, okay, I can be independent, I can be a consultant. Then Singapore, I came in 2021. I was doing my MBA to become a product manager. I had no big ambitions, very basic. Be a product manager at Grab or Shopee, very simple, nothing else. But 3-4 months into the program, I realized that there's really nothing I'll gain out of it. So let's do something else. Let's challenge. There was a few of my people I knew had gone into entrepreneur first and few other incubations. So it seemed like a good bet. The bet was very simple. You take a calculated risk, you get paid for 3 months, you work on an idea, you get funding, and end of it, you are either moving or not moving. Very simple. So I took that calculated bet. Didn't work out. But what did work out was I spent the next, so this was April 2022 to almost July 2022. I spent almost until next year to build that business. This was Zaloom. That was the first business that I started. No funding, all savings, then money from friends. Start of 2023 was extremely bad financially, in the sense there was no money in the bank. Essentially, even to eat food, you will ask money from your friends that I need so much money. And that's March 2023 is when Qurio happened. So I was looking for a job then, trying to see what can I build.
So the startup you built, what industry was it?
It was, okay, it moved a few industries, but end of it, we were trying to build a marketplace for agricultural exports and imports. Essentially, you see these big containers in the ports. The idea was we'll help you buy the fresh products from different markets. So we will be the platform, and let's say NTUC or NTUC Fair Price or any other big purchaser, we are the suppliers, or we are the platform where they say, okay, every year we need this much mangoes or this much apples. Where, how, what price, we do that, and everything happens on the platform. It was a simple thing, but then it's a very complicated industry. Needed a lot. I think that's when I sort of understood all the things that could fail. The cash you need upfront, the people you need, the network you need, how much traveling and connections you need. It was too early.
But anyway, now you it's like one big U-turn, and then you become a CEO. Eugene, what do you see in him that made
So
you know?
when I first saw him like in the office, I was looking for someone to really take care of one of the brands, and back then it was Xandro. I just had this idea, and I'm quite used to building premium brands. All of my brands before were very premium brands. So exclusive premium brands, very niche audience, so very manageable. But my core expertise is in supplement formulations, and in a way, supplements you can almost take them as like commodity as well, because people buy them and take them every single day, and it's a much wider market. So it comes with it's a business that requires a lot of like understanding the data. And that's something I lack in. So I wanted someone to come in to kind of fit that gap. So when I met Shantanu, I thought, hey, it's quite interesting because ultimately, again, a supplement brand from Singapore, if I'm only selling in Singapore, I will not survive, right? It has to go global, at least into a big market, a market like maybe China, India, or the US. And in such markets, to compete, you need data. You need to analyze the market, you need to analyze your products, your customers. So I thought, probably quite a good fit because, coming from Intra, from India, it's such a huge market, and he's so used to all of this data coming in and out every single day. Plus, we're also thinking about inventory management as well because, again, it's big volume. So got him on board, and I think, how many months after that then you became CEO?
Less than 4 months.
Yeah, pretty fast because I was like...
How big was the team?
So how we work is when we have like a new project, then I will have like a manager come in to manage the project. And I mean, ultimately, my goal is this person will become the CEO and then the co-founder. So back then, he came in first, and then I would support him with my team from the other brands. But then eventually, once they are sort of like, okay, once we have the roadmap, then we started building the team. And what I do is I'm very hands-off with operations. So the moment I decide that he's the one, right, I'll let him do it. So I will support with, like the back end stuff, like the product formulations, like maybe even becoming the face, but in terms of, I need to trust someone that I appoint. And so that was how we started out.
Was that I mean, within 4 months, right? You must have had a internal yardstick to measure this gentleman's performance before you can fully like, okay, this is the CEO of my new brand.
Actually, I knew it the day I met him. I think most important is if he could align with like the company's values, my values. And my value has always been, like customer first. Customer first because we're in the health and wellness industry. So whatever we do is going to affect people's health. So they have to be first. And the second thing is, as like I saw the fire, I saw the hunger. And that was how I started as well. I had this passion and hunger. And it's not just like, oh, I want to do this, I'm very passionate. I love beauty. Any influencer there, they love beauty, but it's really, you want to create something to make a difference. And I saw that the first time I met him. So I knew that, Shantanu, there's potential. And we just have to make sure that there's alignment.
Moving on towards you, right, Eugene, the supplements industry is so big. I mean, just look at iHerb. It is just insane. I cannot choose any kind of, I don't know how to choose. I don't know how to filter. I have to filter by customer reviews and everything. And so it's so competitive, right? And I mainly two questions. First is, why do you choose to decide to go into supplements, which is so competitive, and start in Singapore, which is quite small? Second one is that within, I think maybe our audience, they understand generally what supplement is, but within the supplements industry, what exactly is longevity? How does longevity segment carve its presence currently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think there's two answers here. I think the first question would be, why go into this industry, right? For me, it's normal because this is what I studied. But it's also that, yes, there are so many brands doing it, but most of the brands are marketing brands. And we've had like 100-year history of like supplements in the world, and so many products, as you said, but consumers still don't know what they're taking. So I think there's this gap in education, and also awareness, and as also putting like the power back into the hands of the consumer. So not like a brand saying you must take this, but consumer must understand that I need to take this because XYZ, right? So actually, for the last 6 months, a lot of things I've been doing has been educating and also telling consumers that before you take supplements, if you don't know what you're taking, don't take it. You need to know exactly why you're taking it. That your expectations, your motivation has to be very clear. Then you won't fall into the trap of like buying products because you have heard like an interesting advertisement. So I think that's the first part. For me, it's not just about building like a brand to sell products. It's also building a brand to create awareness.
What's the difference? Yeah, just to help me understand, because ultimately your awareness needs to land in the business model, right? So everybody tells me they want to educate the public. Everybody tells me they want to build awareness, they are for the people, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's marketing speak, right? But what fundamentally motivates you to do this? And then, how does the business model then develop around some of these ideas that you have?
Or rather, my own like business model has always to be, like for a lot of brands, the marketing brands, right? They see what's popular. For example, let's say NMN. And then suddenly you see so many brands, like producing and selling NMN. But to be honest, nobody on the team knows anything about it. Oh, NMN is a precursor to NAD. NAD is like literally the fuel that fuels our cells, the mitochondria, to give you energy, right? So as we age, our cell loses cellular energy. It kind of creeps down. There are some studies that shows that by the time you are like 40, 50 years old, your cellular energy level is like literally half of a 20-year-old.
In my 30s, I really feel it. So it's half very slow. But anyway, just to be clear, this is not health advice. Huh? Yeah. Okay, we're just sharing from whatever our understanding of the topic.
So giving this as an example, right? So when it became popular, and we were part of the few companies that popularized it, especially in Singapore. And I was the first to stand out and speak out about NMN and NAD. Now I've been featured in like the major press. not just in Singapore, globally as well. So when I started, or even when I was talking about it, nobody was talking about it. And then it became this huge trend. And now every single month you see new brands or even like a single brand products popping out. And that's exactly my motivation of coming into this industry. It's because, I mean, firstly, whether these brands have got legit products or not, we don't know. No, there's no transparency in that. And as a practitioner before, when I was seeing patients and prescribing supplements, my biggest fear always would be that, is the supplement I prescribed really what it is? So point number one was that in order for me to trust what I'm consuming myself and what my consumers are consuming, I have to manufacture myself. That's the only way. Then point number two would be that, like, I have the knowledge. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I've seen like consumers come and go, but then I've seen them also falling into these traps of, like the trends, right? I want to be an advocate. I want to be an educator in that sense. I started out in Singapore when I came back from Australia. I was doing a lot of education. I was giving like health talks. I was giving like supplement talks together with like the major papers at their events. So I think that has always been my core practice to at least be like a point of contact for customers or consumers if they're unsure what they want to do. And that somehow is translated into Xandro's like DNA.
Why do you have such a strong personal into this?
Actually, why I stopped clinical practice to become an entrepreneur or enter like the industry, right? To do like the back end stuff, was because I just saw too many deaths. I came out to Singapore, I was in my early 20s, and I was as a naturopath then, and there weren't a lot of us. There was like 4 of us in Singapore. So I had no support system. In Australia, like I had like a huge team of like fellow naturopaths. So we would meet up, we would discuss our cases, difficult cases, we would offload some of our stress. Back to Singapore, firstly, I had no support system. Secondly, I had like no products, no tools. Right, like there weren't a lot of supplement brands back then that was professional or clinical strength. But the third issue was that as a naturopath, we specialized in preventive. That means we work with you on changing your lifestyle to make you healthier. But somehow we get thrown the worst cases. People that have been rejected by by the medical practice saying you have like 3 more months. So day in, day out, I was dealing with cases. I was seeing people come and go. And so I'm very much passionate about the prevention side. But then when I delve deeper, I also realized that people are taking advantage of this because I'm telling you, okay, if you take this, then you won't have this problem. Yes, that's what I want to do. But there are just so many companies or brands out there that's not doing this. They're just doing this because of the money. The motivation is different. And therefore, then the message is wrong.
I want to see whether you can share with us a little bit more about like you on your personal level. Like, why are you so into this? Like, why is like supplements or natural healing? Why is it such a thing for you?
My personal like mission or goal, right, is I want to live beyond 120 years old, but not looking like 120 years old. So I think I got really inspired when I did my documentary. I spent half a year traveling around the world, visiting villages where I would interview and literally live with centenarians. And so that inspired me, but also gave me like perspective about aging. That, a lot of these people, they do enjoy their lives every single day, but they are burdened by restrictions, in their movement or with their health. So it's something that I want to be a part of. Seeing that there is now global awareness between like scientists, doctors, and even like government, to promote the research in longevity science, I want to be part of the ecosystem.
Another question is that, you set up your entire facility end to end in Singapore. And I recall when I was doing my research on you, you have a few PhD scientists, a few legit scientists, right? My question is why do you choose to be based in Singapore, in the sense that the manufacturing, the talent and everything is, it's not cheap lah. But of course there's quality. But why not based elsewhere? Why based in Singapore?
COVID.
So simple.
So for the longest time, I thought like my entrepreneurial career would be in the US and always in the US, because that's where this industry thrives.
This is huge over there. Yeah.
And I actually started over there as well. I mean, firstly, COVID, I was stuck here. But secondly was I got really sick of traveling to the US because it's very tiring. But thirdly was that I think it also comes back to why I came back to Singapore from Australia. I could have stayed there. I had a comfortable life there practicing. Is that my family's here. I know they will get older, so will I. But like as they get older, they will have like health issues and problems. I want to be there to help them prevent it.
And just now because just now you mentioned, I think you mentioned twice or three times already, marketing brands, right? What is then, and I'm sure the US has a lot of these marketing brands. Can you define for me what exactly how do you define a marketing brand and a not marketing brand? and then second, because I'm a marketer too. So I'm very curious about when you say the word marketing, not trigger me, it inspires me like that, not trigger.
Actually triggers.
Actually triggers.
But the second thing is also because you mentioned that many consumers don't understand what they're having, right? In the industry, are there specific channels or specific ways for consumers to truly understand what exactly they're putting in their bodies? So I go for one example. So I go to the gym, and my gym supplement is typically from this US brand called Transparent Labs. I go for them because they're truly transparent. Like everything, all the tests they do every single month is published on a website. No sweeteners, no nothing, and that's why I go for it. Then whatever you said just now made me realize there isn't any international standard kind of publishing kind of channel for a person to truly understand, to have this kind of transparency. It is the onus lies on the company itself. So what is a marketing brand?
I think maybe I'll ask you a better question would be, like if you go to a restaurant or you want to eat good food, you go to a restaurant and then you realize that in the restaurant, like there's no chef and they just order takeaway and then they serve you the food. Like, will you be happy? But they do a great job marketing the restaurant very nicely, decor and so on, right? But the food is not from them. So it is very complex. What I do mean by that is that, and it comes in different levels. At the first level would be you have like brands that are supplement brands themselves, but then they just like launch products, if it's trendy, based on trendy ingredients, right? So it's very much like commodities, like, okay, this is hot, we'll launch it. Quickly fit into like the supply chain, come out with a product. Don't do any studies on it, because people already know what it is. So that's one level. Then there's another level, which these are like brand new brands that will just pop out because it's very trendy and there's money in it. So let's quickly like find like a contract manufacturer, create the product, and then just like market it, and then use words like, oh, we are science-backed, we are science-based, we are a performance brand. Through all these big words, we have scientific committee and team.
He cannot, he accept. That's the truth.
That is the typical playbook.
And then they get influencers, right? You get like big influencers to promote the brand, and you buy into it. But then you realize that once the trend goes away, these brands also disappear.
So then because longevity science, longevity supplements, right? I want to then talk about the longevity of your different brands. Shantanu, I want to ask you, right? Because Eugene just said, and that just said that, companies, they go for trends, whatever is trendy, I will roll out. And I understand that, and I think you need to do that. Otherwise, you're not relevant to people. Just as how you mentioned in F&B, whatever is trendy, you need to do it. The format needs to change, including our show too. You know what I mean?
You anyhow publish, you're not going to write the SEO.
Correct.
Yes.
So I'm sure the Xandro is not it's not created for trend, but the stuff you're selling right now is trending currently. What is there for as a CEO, right? Your future plans when the stuff you sell is not trending anymore, then what happens?
Okay, so this is where longevity of a company comes in. We're thinking of what we do next year. I'll tell you some of the plans next year that we've been thinking of doing. The product lineup will evolve based on two things. One is the science, how is science evolving. I can give some example of one of our key product, which is based on that, the philosophy. And the second part is what are consumers looking for? People today want to be a lot more fit. They want to spend on biomarker tests, which cost them $1,000, $2,000. So all of that, how do you build it together, also will determine how long the company survives. Now, people know us as a supplement company, but do I perceive the company as a supplement company? No. It is a longevity ecosystem. It is a platform that we're creating where you could possibly get everything. One of the products that I'm thinking right now is a simple weighing machine that you can get your BMR, DEXA scan at home. It's not supplement. It adds on to the entire ecosystem. See, the challenge and also with skeptics is you're just popping pills without knowing why. Can we answer that question? If we can give you that answer as a company, then you will be fairer in understanding, okay, I don't need my supplements today. I don't need ABC, I need something else. So how do you really find it out? So that's the place where we are going towards, as to telling you or helping find what you really need.
So how exactly right now do you educate your customers? But just my personal experience is that I wasn't educated by you. I was literally, I did my basic research on what exactly am I taking. Is it the same as creatine and da. I educated myself. But from your perspective as a company, how do you then educate the public about?
So there are something we need to improve, and there are few ways in which we do it. Our biggest channel is live stream. So we on TikTok live streams. Eugene also streams over there. We have
How many percent of your revenue comes from there?
close to 50, and that's our most reliable channel. Today we can be a week can go bad, but with a few live streams, we'll be back we'll be back up. So and this is where also it's educative. It's you build awareness, you ask your questions. It's almost like selling one-to-one. You don't need 100 or 200 people watching you. Even if 20 people are watching you, they will ask questions. And we have brought doctors on live streams. Eugene's entire stream is educative. There's almost no sales in it. Everyone else. So we work with other live streamers. The key theme is, can they tell people what these products are? And we have huge white papers, long list of benefits and all of that goes to them. So our most performing channel is educative. So that works for us. So that's part one. Part two is, we do write a lot of blogs, but I don't think it distributes a lot. I'll tell you the most highest performing blog is called "Should You Take Magnesium with Alcohol?" And it performs across the world. And this topic came up out of the blue. We just thought, can we combine words? We've combined ashwagandha and alcohol. Doesn't work. People want to know, can they take magnesium with alcohol? That's the only thing that they want to know. I don't know why. I have not heard it myself, but everyone wants to know that.
It's part of the SEO play, is it?
Yeah. So part of the SEO play, part of the education part, we are trying to do a lot on social media. So this is where Eugene is creating content. I'm creating content. I would want to do more. We are all fighting for time. So there will be a lot more social media education where we talk about each of the things. And go beyond just selling the products, because there's so much more to you taking any supplement. Why, the reason, your goals, and then your own body, all of that are different variables before you choose something. You choose because of tiredness.
I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to ask, right? So, as with all business owners and marketers alike, you will never let a good blog post go to waste, right? So, like, let's say you already said that you have the top blog post that drives the most traffic is can you have magnesium with alcohol, right? So after knowing that, okay, this is my highest traffic thing, what do you do about it? Ultimately, you want to drive sales, right?
The thing is, success in one channel does not mean that it will succeed in the other channel as well. What we did is, it worked for SEO, which meant that we created 10 other blogs. Now we have, can you take magnesium before alcohol or take magnesium after? So this will be a question. So various combinations about before sleep, after sleep, does it help with hangover? All of this we combined and created 10 other blogs, all of which perform. And then because magnesium plus alcohol performed, we combined that with every other product. Doesn't work very well. So the other things that have worked for us, just on since we are on this topic, pick up a celebrity. So iMate is an example. This Kim Kardashian also has a brand. I forgot the name suddenly right now. But so we just make blogs on those. People come. And the other thing is, tell them this is an alternative to iMate. People will want to read. Tell them this is better than iMate. People will want to read.
Okay.
You can even
So you piggyback
Yes,
of other
yes,
people's
yes.
strategy. Okay, and then how does that conversion funnel kind of look like
Very
then as you
bad.
go down?
Very bad.
So even with the SEO, there's traffic and all that. In the supplements business, it is not converting.
I don't think it converts in any business. SEO is more of hype and maybe credibility building. Right type of SEO is important, but overall SEO is too hyped. You don't need so much of SEO. We started selling a lot more units even before SEO, even before running a lot of ads. We can shut down ads today and we'll still be doing very well. So SEO is I think in my it is gone. What is important in SEO is creator led or authority led videos. So SEO has moved from Google to TikTok to Instagram. People recommending. I made a video about this, which is people are getting recommended to. This is not UGC. This is more of recommendation play where Judson, for example, can say, okay, I've been taking this for this many reasons and I like it. That's a recommendation. Any expert, you'll see so many doctors, so many nutritionists, you'll see so many people in pharmaceuticals, people working in the industry have their expert pages and they recommend products. That sells very well. This is a very interesting example since we are on this topic.
Very interesting.
We opened Hong Kong with a single video. It became the second highest market for us in less than a month with just one video, with a product that does not even sell well in Singapore. This was, so we had worked with this partner for a long time, and then she made this video about curcumin, a YouTube live. It went live, we didn't run ads, and we suddenly started getting orders from there. And then we boosted it with ads. Now it's the second biggest market. In fact, so much so that all our ads from Singapore, we've started moving the ads to Hong Kong as well. So, and we had to really put zero capital in terms of setting up the market with shipping from Singapore. It can scale. So right kind of SEO. So SEO has to be, I would say, more of recommendation play rather than just getting eyeballs, just getting traffic. I have tried changing the blog page many times, putting the product in between, putting the product links, putting the product on the side. We've tried many versions of blog pages. I realize it's just useless. So instead of that, wasting my time on that, I'll do something else.
So just now you mentioned like your live stream is 50% of your revenue. Can I ask, and can I ask like per live stream session, typically, how many people are there attending, listen to you? And from that, what is the percentage of conversion?
Yeah. How have you optimized it?
You'll easily have 5,000 to 10,000 people watching. Average watch time will vary anywhere between 50 seconds to a minute and a half, 2 minutes if it's very good live stream.
2 minutes is considered a very good live stream.
If you have garnered 2 minutes views, then you're doing all close to $50,000 live stream.
So you have to educate everything within the 2-minute window.
Yes.
This kind of explains why all the live streamers are repeating and repeating and repeating. They just sound like a broken record. Sorry, I'm not saying you.
So that's my difference. So my
Yeah.
live stream is totally like against logic because I don't prescribe to any of the sort of like methods that a lot of live streamers do, right? Because ultimately my live stream is all about like educating. And people come to my live streams and they just like ask me questions about the products or how to take it, etc. So while I know like my per live stream can go up to like maybe like 5,000 views, but I don't like look into the data because to me it's not that important.
His style actually works very well. I think one of the best performing styles in Singapore, because everyone else is trying to sell you, trying to put a limited time deal, and then it being too salesy. And this is what, and everyone we work with, we're very particular. Please don't be too salesy. Educate. They'll come back. See, people will watch at least 3 to 4 live streams or 5 live streams of yours before they start buying. So they won't convert right away. You have to build that confidence. Today I'll come, I just scroll past because I've seen you on the feed. Tomorrow I see, okay, someone is buying from you. Third day I see you're answering a very good question. You've answered it. I'm convinced. I don't buy. Then come on the 4th time, 5th time, and that's how the relationship builds over there. So it's you're building relationships every single day. Every view, every 30 seconds someone spends with you, you can build on that.
live stream is okay. So I want to something an adjacent topic. So there's another personal experience with your stuff, right? I went on to Shopee, looking at your products. Then I went to onto your website, looking at your products. I price compare, and then I realized that they're priced equally the same. Why then would you? So what is the commercial consideration between listing on Shopee versus listing on your website when the pricing is the same? Because then it's double the effort. And for the consumer like me, I would rather just stick to the platform I'm more used to and therefore trust more, which is Shopee, right? So I thought that you will price your products cheaper on your website.
First, we don't try to price our products cheap. We're very particular about that. Health is a segment where if you do too many promotions, your reputation goes for a toss. The reason why we are everywhere online, not on retail, all the channels make commercial sense. Everyone has a preferred channel. Some people like website because they trust it more. I can control the experience on website more than I can control it on Shopee or TikTok. Shopee, a lot of people go there for better vouchers. Right now, they have membership. They have launched membership. We are trying to leverage that and get more people to keep repeating. TikTok is heavily live stream based revenue. TikTok is heavily creator based revenue. The shop revenue would be less than what creators and affiliates will sell. Shopee sells by itself. You don't really need live streams or anything for that to sell. Website, there are dedicated people who buy from there. So if you look at the overall revenue, website is not far behind from what Shopee is or what TikTok is. TikTok is slightly ahead. But I can do that same number of website. Okay, now why website? Website is where we build the brand, where we build the narrative, where we tell people who we are. And website is global. So today, my website can be scaled to any places. Right now, we have got 2 websites, one for US, one for Singapore and rest of the world. Every time we want to expand to a new market, the website is scalable. I can send, today I get orders from across the world and I ship it from Singapore.
I do want to ask a bit before we wrap, right, about the discounting side of the business, right? So as with all product business, there's always this part that no one sees, no one talks about, is when the product life cycle comes to an end. You know, you may have over-indented during their peak, or it's like going to expire, you know, whatever, right? So of course there are intricacies in different categories, and you know, in supplements, I'm sure there are intricacies. So like, how do you kind of run this supply chain when it's near its end of its life cycle?
So we're struggling on inventory. So the thing is, we don't keep stocks of more than a month. In fact, most of our top sellers are on 15, 20 days. A lot of times, if when you order from us, it's on pre-order. We produce our own stock, which means we're producing based on demand and not buying huge bulk from outside. The only reason why we discount is to generate demand. So that people convert. If let's say I am, instead of 1 month, something is trending to 6 months cover, which is inventory stock holding, I'll give it out as an add-on free product to all the consumers. So every time, so this is one reason why you get a lot of my consumers come to website. The moment they cross 200, they get a free product. The moment they cross 400, they get another free product for free. So I can always keep trialing out products like this, and production is based on demand. So nothing will be produced unless there is demand. If let's say something is selling 5,000 units a month versus something is selling 200, the 200, I'm not going to produce so much. I'm only going to produce maybe 500 units at max, and that stays until it sells out. Good thing is all of the products have 2 years of expiry. Anytime you buy stocks from us, rare that you'll get anything which is less than 18 months of shelf life left. That's another reason why people buy us. So that's how control on supply chain, control on manufacturing. We were just discussing it yesterday as to we need another factory as we grow. So that will come up in 2026, 2027 as we build. Everyone wants to do contract manufacturing. We don't want to. We want to keep it as controlled as possible. Then we know what we should do and should not do. Okay, see, the thing is, everything today is commoditized. This mic is commoditized. The shoes are commoditized. You can get it from anywhere. how do you really make a difference is control your manufacturing, control your design, control your production. That's when you can actually do things. It may not make sense for other industries, but in case of supplement where manufacturing, I would say still a simple process in the sense you're putting a raw material inside a capsule, packaging it. It's simple. If it is too intricate, which needs different,
Of course, like wafers and all
yeah,
that, that's a
then it's
different story altogether,
yeah.
right?
So then your cost on factory will be much higher compared to, say, making a supplement.
I think before we wrap, I want to ask Eugene 2 questions. So when you want to start to create a new product line, how do you decide what formulation should go into that product line? Because noting that different countries have different requirements in terms of product safety and medical standards and stuff like that. Also, plus what consumers want in terms of that formulation. I don't know, maybe China people really want 1,000 milligram, 1,000 milligram of NMN, and then Singaporeans can only handle 500, that kind of stuff. What is your research process to help you decide that this is a formulation to start with?
So a product, as we incubate it, may start because of two reasons. One reason is that we have a discovery in our lab that we can now commercialize into a product. The other one is that we have an end goal that we want to go to. Maybe we want to solve knee problems. So then we work backwards to create the formulations. And how I always start is that I would consider global regulatory requirements, which means I'll be very limited. And then I will see if I can create a formula based around that limit. If I can, then that's the best case scenario. Then I can just launch this globally. But if I cannot, then I will have to see which markets I'm willing to give up. End of the day, it's a balance between how commercially successful or how globally I can launch this product versus how effective I want this product to be. Yeah, so that's how really I do my formulations. Plus a lot of insomnia.
It's a cycle. That's why he had to spend more effort to improve the product so that he can do more, but then stay insomnia and then
And then integrate
and still look like that at 42. Oh my god! Yeah.
Last question is that under your portfolio you do have different brands, right? Xandro is one of them. You have a luxury skincare. How do you cross-pollinate? I mean, and because your entire market size, regardless of brand, you just capture everything. It is quite sizable, right? Then how do you make sure? Is there a way in that you can encourage them to cross-buy, stuff like that?
So the brands itself, they don't cross-pollinate, but I am the party where it happens, right? So on my live stream, all the brands will cross-pollinate around me because I can share all of them. But no, on its own, actually, every single brand has got a very defined audience, a very niche on the industry that it's in or a technology. And to be honest, they don't really overlap that much, in terms of, the pricing, in terms of the key benefits and, your expectations as well. Those, for example, Xandro is, performance longevity supplements designed for daily consumers. Right. And then we have Inviti, which is a longevity-based skincare brand, which is premium. And then our brand Lee, which is luxury exosomes and gemstone-based skincare. So yeah, gemstones. Yeah. So if you are the crowd that's into luxury skincare, right? Because you're buying skincare not just for your skin health but also personal fulfillment, then you will go after this brand. You will go for this brand.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. If our audience would like to connect with you, what's the live stream handle? Go and join the party.
Yeah, DrEugenehe, Dr. Eugene He is my TikTok handle.
Okay. And yourself?
outofsg.com, and I'm also available on LinkedIn and emails if need be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Great time. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next TFC Business Show. If you have any particular interesting stories that you want us to talk about or any interesting people, you can always email us, hello@thefinancialcoconut.com. If not, go to thefinancialcoconut.com to put your email address so that we can route our SEO and then reach you
can
directly.
beat the algorithm.
Yeah, beat the algorithm, right? And then get to you directly. So we'll see you at the next podcast and hope to see you at our next event. Meanwhile, take care. Bye-bye.
See you.